Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. We have another musical review, but as you may be able to tell, this sound does not go with this clip. Well, the whole beginning of the day recorded with no sound, so you'll have to listen to me tell you about the morning until we get the sound back. We started this morning by taking down Christmas lights. I definitely had them up way longer than I wanted to, but with Brett being down a hand, I decided to wait till my parents came so they could give some extra help. Since Brett's been off work, I told him he should find something productive to do with his time. After going through different ideas, we landed on learning Spanish using Duolingo. We roped my mom into doing it as well. I'm still working on translating sentences, but va muy bien, llevamos 108 días aprendido español. Close enough. I put together our meal plan for the week and then off to the bathroom to start getting ready. A quick moment for my upgraded makeup and skincare storage. Here I'm probably saying something really important, but we will never know. This is probably the gist of it though. I did a little research about this musical because I kept hearing it was a concept musical. Now you may ask, what in the world is a concept musical? It basically means there's no linear storyline and it'll be a bunch of different scenes. Knowing this brought my expectations way down. We've never seen anything like that, so I wasn't sure what to think about it. I also found out the main character in the original Broadway show was based off of a male character, and now with the new revivals of the musical, they have changed it to a female character. Not sure if it's a good or a bad thing, seeing I have never seen or listened to the original musical. But okay, enough about that and expectations. Let's get to the synopsis and move on. This is a synopsis from company's North America tour website. It's Bobby's 35th birthday party, and all of her friends keep asking, why isn't she married? Why can't she find the right man? And isn't it time to settle down and start a family? As Bobby searches for answers, she discovers why being single, being married, and being alive in 21st century New York could drive a person crazy. Now that that's all over, let's get back to some footage with the original sound, which takes us to lunch. Welcome to McAllister's.
Chicken and dumpling. Yeah, but the thing is, if I get a soup and they don't fill it to the top, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
Before. Mom's salad looks really good. What is it?
It's Savannah chopped salad. So technically I shouldn't have to use my knife because it's chopped, but that's too big a piece to put in my mouth.
And after. But as always, McAllister's is the way to go.
Better than the last drink.
It smells really good.
It does smell. It smells better than it tastes.
Yes.
Take one. I think I might have gotten it on one. Done. I think that's my best picture ever.
Well, here we are again, ready to give you our review on Company with some company who probably won't stay for very long.
No.
So as a reminder of how we do our reviews, we have 4 categories that we are going to talk through. Those are look, sound, music to dialogue ratio, and execution. And we will give you our ratings on those at the end. So with that, let's get into it.
Okay. Our first category is look.
So we really liked the sets. They were very simple, very clean, very concise. They took up the whole stage. And then even all the dead space on the stage, it was dark and you couldn't see anything, so it really like made the set stand out.
Yes.
And the thing I think that really helped the set was that all the sets were in like an illuminated box. And then anytime the sets changed, it did happen very seamlessly and it never took away from anything. And sometimes even like acted in it as the sets were changing.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was really cool too. And one fun thing that we saw in the first act, but we didn't see it in the second act because we were looking, was we noticed like subtle 35s everywhere. The living room. There was a painting behind the couch and faintly it said 35.
I remember seeing that now.
And then they were sitting outside of like apartments and the building number was 35. So that was kind of cool to tie in that it was Bobby's 35th birthday. And so the set and the look was fantastic.
Yes.
Let's move on to the sound, which was a little less than fantastic.
So the sound, the good thing about the sound was there was a live orchestra, which we love. And when you have a live orchestra, I think it's much easier to get a nice sound out of it because neither one, they don't compete with each other. They actually work nicely together. So the sound was very nice.
You could hear everything equally.
Yes, and even their dialogue when they were talking, that part was good too. However, when they were singing their songs, the diction and enunciation was just like that. It was terrible. I mean, the songs you couldn't necessarily hear. You couldn't understand the words that they were saying. So that was a problem.
Especially when everyone was singing together. You really could not understand a single, you understood they said Bobby a lot.
Yes. And the other piece with the sound was the lead singer, the Bobby. She had a very lovely voice. Her voice was just, in my opinion, her voice was not strong enough for that lead role.
Yeah.
I felt like there were some songs that could have been impactful, but her voice did not carry them.
And I agree with that.
So that was the other issue.
So next, music to dialogue ratio. It was very average. It felt like it had more talking than singing, but it probably had about the same.
And the other thing too is a lot of times when you go see the shows, they'll be talking and then they'll sing a song and they're related and they go together hand in hand. We did not have hand in hand. We had dialogue and then we would have a song. So it was a little disjointed that way too.
Yeah. So lastly is the execution.
And to be quite honest, during the first half of the show, my eyes were closing because I'm sitting there going, okay, it was, shall I say the word? It was boring. I don't know how else to describe it. We actually said if we would walk out of a show at intermission, this would be the one.
One piece that I think helped is knowing going into it that it wasn't a story.
And which we were a little concerned about, but when they started, it was almost like a bunch of short stories because it was her relationship with a couple or her relationship with, how they interacted. So it was like you had your scene, you had your people, and it was all tied up in a bow. It tied it up in a bow as in that it finished the scene, but then we come out and we say, what was the whole purpose of this show?
But I think what we're getting hung up on a little is when Company did the Straz Center Instagram takeover, they said, what is this show about? It says it explores the different standards that we have for women in this day and age. None of that was in there. At least I didn't see any different standards for women.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It was definitely related on relationships.
And what they did was they showed all of the couples were married couples except for Bobby, who was the lead. And so it kind of just showed different people's married relationship is really what it was. And that's all fine and good, but and you never really got a clear picture of how she kind of felt about life in general.
So we both had low expectations.
Yes.
And I think because of those low expectations, they were met.
Yes.
And the other thing to note is we really took notice of how empty the Straz Center was for this show.
Yes.
We noticed so much. We counted the number of people in our row. So our row holds 53 people. This show had 14 in it. So that also gives an indication that it's not maybe a very popular show or people don't know about it.
And it also reinforces the fact of the way we feel, because obviously we're missing what we're supposed to be missing.
Let's get into our ratings. Now, we did actually rate this the exact same, so we'll just go through one set of this.
Yes, yeah. So I'll start with looks. We gave it a 5.
For the sound, we decided to give it a 3.
For music to dialogue ratio, we gave that a 3 as well.
And lastly, for execution, we gave it a 1. For a grand total, would give this show a 2.5.
Now, the big question, would you recommend it to someone to go see? And the answer is
no.
2 thumbs down.
2 big thumbs down.
Yeah.
Though a little bit of a disappointing review, we are just here to give our thoughts and opinions of the shows that we see. Hopefully the next one will be better.
Can't be a whole lot worse. We're looking forward to our next show. So we're going to see Moulin Rouge next. And I know that like Moulin Rouge doesn't really have a story necessarily either, and it's a lot of cover things and whatever, but I'm looking forward to it because at least the music will have a purpose.
I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.